Welcome back to this Word of Hope for December 11th, 2022, the third Sunday of Advent. And as you can tell, we have our third candle lit. The candle is pink. It is that reminder, as we also have in Lent, that in the midst of maybe the darker, the more penitential, the more silent, this light, the brightness, the hope that we already know is present and what's coming at Christmas is there. And we stop in the midst of it and all that preparation to actually acknowledge this, the joy. We call this Sunday Gaudate Sunday. Gaudate meaning joy, literally in Latin. And we have that wonderful song in Isaiah. You know, the valleys will be made plain and the lame will leap, etc., things being restored. There is this exuberance of life that's given. And even the way Jesus talks about John the Baptist, the exuberance that he seems to be projecting about the monumentalness of John's preaching. That joy is really where our hope is proven. We know our hope has been fulfilled when we are experiencing that joy. It's sort of what we see as the regular reaction to the people who are healed by Christ, as Jesus is telling his disciples, or the disciples of John, saying, tell them what you've seen. The blind see, the lepers are clean, the lame walk, etc., etc. And the joy that we hear over and over again about those who have been healed. Joy isn't something, though, that can really be fabricated. I mean, we can try, especially in the season of Advent. We put the lights, we put the music, and we have the parties and the decorations. We create that external environment, hopefully to acknowledge or to incite or evoke in us some sort of experience of joy, having that perfect Christmas. But joy really is not something that can be fabricated. It's something that is telling, and it is a reaction to really where our hopes are. And we can begin to prep ourselves for true joy at the coming of Christ. And the way we do that in Advent is that we practice joy. I think that's something that we might take for granted, but the importance of practicing joy is a reminder for us as we prepare for the coming of Christ, that the coming of Christ is actually a joyful event. It's a good thing. Again, we might take that for granted, but in our world today, the things of Christ, the things of the church, the things of that even idea of having Christ in our life is not a positively accepted thing. It is not a joyful thing. But we practice joy. We live in that season of joy, and we begin to train in habits our hearts to know what to hope for, and that this thing, this person, this event, this hope will be fulfilled here. And we work on making our eyes prepped. We work on making our hearts open. We practice giving of oneself. We practice thinking about others. We practice preparing even our souls and our hearts through confession as a place to receive in the way that the Christ child who is to come merits. A heart filled with joy, who loves God, who loves Christ. And sometimes we need to practice that a little bit to remind ourselves. Our joy is not a fabricated joy, but it is a joy that can transform us. It is a joy that can teach us where to place our hopes. And it is a joy that the world desperately needs today. So let our joy on this Sunday and this third week shine before others. God bless.